Greetings all, this is Dickie Adams from Pocketnow.com, and today we're doing the unboxing of the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1 from Verizon with 4G, the LTE service. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1 is a pretty well-known device in the world already, and this is just the Verizon iteration with 4G service built into the device. Let's go ahead and open up the box and take a look at what's inside. In here we have the 4G LTE SIM card, which we'll put in a minute. The actual device itself with a little overlay instructions on how to put that card in. And then under here we have the user manuals, the Samsung proprietary cable. It's got a dock connector. It looks like a 10-pin connector, almost like the Apple is. So the power charging sync cable is not standard USB. And then you've got the wall wart and the adapter for the wall wart for US plugs. So that's all there is in the box. Let's go ahead and strip the plastic off, get that SIM card in, and we'll boot it up for the first time. Had to make a quick backdrop change because couldn't actually see the device against the black background except for this the silver coated rim around the outside. Here we've got the main device. We've got a 2 megapixel front facing camera right here. Up at the top, on this top end, is the headphone jack and the SIM card slot, which I've already placed in there. On this side over here, we've got the one of the speaker holes. On the bottom, we have the microphone hole and the dock connector / charging / syncing port here. Moving around to this side, we have the other speaker hole, power button, volume rocker. And then moving to the back, we have the 3 megapixel camera with flash. And then the back of the device is covered in kind of a gunmetal gray sort of brushed look. It's a little difficult to see here. See if I can get a little more light on it and give you a little more. You can see it there, here across this effect, the brushed gunmetal feel and look. Slip the dice over and power it up. Now it is powered by a dual-core Tegra 1 gigahertz processor. It's got a 7,000 milliamp hour battery, and it is supposed to be able to do 720p recording. It's got 4G LTE with 3G EVDO Rev A radio as well. You can do Wi-Fi with all the standard specs, and Bluetooth is 2.1, pretty typical there. The screen itself is 10.1 inches. It's a 1280 by 800 WXGA screen. That's a TFT display. You can see here we are. Please waiting while your tablet is being prepared. Zoom in here a little bit. You can see the soft buttons appearing down here in this corner. The clock over here. It's taking a good amount of time to actually activate right now. We'll come back in just a second after it's activated and we'll talk about and look at the software a little bit. So after a reboot, with the SIM card finally activated itself, and we ended up here at the welcome screen. And it'll allow us to sign in with all the settings, And we can see the soft keyboard here, which we'll come back to in the more in-depth review later on. In hand, the device feels the back feels a little plasticky, even though it's got kind of that brushed gunmetal feel. It doesn't feel bad in the hands. In fact, it doesn't feel like it's going to slide out of your hands at all because of that brushed texture on the back. The screen itself and there's a little bit of, or at least not right this moment, but there is some haptic feedback that happens with the keyboard when I was trying to activate it in the previous setting and I was inside of the settings. There was some haptic feedback. And so far the screen seems to be very responsive. Colors-wise and viewing angles are pretty good thus far, but we'll do a little more in-depth coverage on that later. So now we're looking at the main home screen. I've added a couple of apps here to the desktop already, and we can swipe back and forth between the different pages. We can drop in apps like you expect. Up here is your apps button, and brings up all the apps that are on the system, and the My Apps are the ones that are installed. Tap the clock to get access to settings. Tap the plus to add widgets. And then down here is your back button, your home button, and this is kind of a quick My App switcher. We'll go into more depth later on. And then when you're in an app that can actually handle looking at other menu items, then another button will appear down here below for actual menu button. If you have any questions, leave them below, and we'll try to cover them in the next review. Thanks for watching.